DreamWorks Animation has made many films, but it also has many that were canceled. I will now bring some of those onto the list. I will now list every canceled DreamWorks film that isn't an adaptation or a sequel. Number 1. Bugs, Lights Out. This 1991 film idea was by PDI before DreamWorks was formed. It could have been the first computer-animated film if some studio picked up on it, but no one did until after Toy Story's release. Some ideas from it were used for Ants later on. Next, Interworld, 1996. You may have heard of the book Interworld. Well, before it was a book, the idea for it as a film was pitched for DreamWorks, and DreamWorks said no. In 1998, Rockumentary. This was a film where a band of penguins would parody the Beatles. However, after this film was canceled, the penguins' idea was used for Madagascar. Tusker. This film would have been about an elephant herd traveling across Southeast Asia. On the way, they encounter dangers. Hey, a bit like The Croods, with no main enemy. The Wanderer. This film would have been 2D animated about a stray bear who joins a group of circus bears and changes their lives. In 2005, we have Route 66. This film would have been about a giant golf ball statue who lives on one side of Route 66, who goes on a journey to save a giant blueberry statue named Betty when she is taken away. It Came from Earth. This film would have been about an alien invasion spoof where human astronauts visit a planet of Martians. In 2007, we have Gullible's Travels. This would have been a film about a man who time travels with a porta-potty to find the woman he loves.
The Book of Life. It was eventually picked up by 20th Century Fox, but the film would have been made by DreamWorks originally in 2007. In 2009, Boo, Bureau of Otherworldly Operations. This film would have been about two people who join the Bureau of Otherworldly Operations after they die. This organization is dedicated to stopping evil ghosts from haunting people. The only thing was, the people in the organization were ghosts themselves. Sugar Bones. Salma Hayek wanted DreamWorks to do a film titled Sugar Bones about Day of the Dead, where a boy goes to the land of the dead to find his deceased family, who died in a road accident among a travel to Las Vegas. He and his family will be trapped in the underworld if he doesn't go back to the living world. After it was canceled, some people thought Pixar's Coco was suspiciously similar in plot to this in storyline. In 2010, Imaginary Enemies. This film would have been a hybrid of live action and animation and would have been about imaginary friends who were long used as scapegoats by children who blamed them. Eventually fed up, the imaginary people would come for revenge when the children have grown up. Me and My Shadow. This film would have been a combination of CGI and 2D animation, and would have been about Shadow Stan, who serves as a shadow to Stanley Grubb, the world's most boring human. Shadow Stan, wanting to have more excitement, escapes to the shadow world and takes control of Stanley. Vivo. Before being picked up by Sony, this film would originally going to be done by DreamWorks and would have been about a kinkajou obsessed with music and adventure who embarks on a journey from Havana, Cuba to Miami, Florida in pursuit of his dreams. In 2012, Giants, Forces of Nature. This film would have been about, it seems, giants who are as the name suggests. 2013 has Larrikins. This film would have been a musical about a bilby named Perry who lives in the outback of Australia, who goes on a road trip with a music band. An untitled blue-footed booby bird film, where a dim-witted blue-footed booby learns that it isn't the size of your brain, but the size of your heart that counts. Set to be released in 2014, we have Zodiac. This would have been about an anthropomorphic cat and a city of anthropomorphic animals who tries solving a sinister conspiracy. If that sounds too close to home, keep in mind the cat also wants to be the first cat on the Chinese zodiac. Anyways, this film would have been released 2 years before Zootopia, so there can't be copycat allegations. 2017 has Spooky Jack. This film would have been about 3 siblings who move into a creepy new house who discover all the creatures they thought didn't exist. In 2018, we have Yoki Samba. Inspired by Japanese and Brazilian folk stories, Paramount is now making this film instead of DreamWorks. In 2021, Stephen Curry was supposed to make a film for DreamWorks.
After it was canceled, Sony used him instead for their upcoming film, Goat. And finally, in 2023, we have Another Me, a Bollywood-themed film. Not much is known about it. So, those are all the films DreamWorks could have done. If you like this video, what should we talk about next? Anyways, please subscribe if possible.